Now, Chair, you're running down the clock, so thanks for that. Ms Mulhooley, are you a registered legal practice?
Yes.
As an independent legal practice, you represent others.
The way it works in the we don't represent anyone other than RTE.
So you're registered as a legal practice with the Law Society. Do you have a professional indemnity?
No, we don't need
You
professional
don't. Well, then I think,
indemnity.
to be honest, if you don't need professional indemnity, you are not independent of the organisation. And I think, as a lawyer, you should know that.
Can I give you an
No, I don't want to discuss it. I think it is clear.
Well, actually, I would like to discuss
Well, I'm
it.
sorry.
I'd like to give you an answer.
You're here on our terms, Ms Mulhooley, and I think masquerading as an independent legal practice when you don't have independent clients other than RTE, it's fair to say you are not an independent legal.
Sorry, you're entitled to ask the questions, but don't make
I did ask the question. Ms Mulhooley answered it. She does not. She is not registered.
The question, it's a simple question.
No, it wasn't a simple question. There was a charge. There's two things there.
Sorry, excuse me, Chair.
Sorry, I want to allow.
Well, then stop the clock if you're going to question.
Just briefly reply, please. And
As
allow
an
her to reply.
example,
You're wasting time if you don't.
Chair, I'd like to be given a proper opportunity to respond.
Please respond.
Chair, you better stop the clock, please, because I've had the answer I want.
Please respond.
As an example of the independent legal advice that we give would be in terms of this when it first broke. Independent solicitors within RTE would have given advice to the newsroom in relation to their coverage of this in an independent way. That is what I mean when I say we're independent solicitors. We don't act at the behest.
It's a fudge to in relation to what it bears witness to, which is the release of a document where client privilege can be waived by you, Mr. Backhurst. Now, I'm going to ask you again. I started this morning on the basis that your assertion that Mr. Tubridy had a moral obligation in which to repay the money. Now, everybody here in this committee agrees with me, and we represent the public. I would say that's a fair percentage of what's been represented here today. There's a fair representation of the public opinion here today. And everyone agrees that you and RTE as an organisation refusing to waive legal privilege goes directly to your credibility when you say that you are trying to be transparent and doing everything you can. Have you reconsidered your position from this morning? Are you prepared to give the document to the committee before we have to compel it?
I have a responsibility to the organisation to protect the integrity and editorial independence of the organisation, and that's what I will do, Deputy. And I've heard
Does that mean, Mr. Backhurst, you haven't changed your mind?
I've answered your question, Deputy.
You haven't changed your mind?
I have not changed my mind.
Okay, I'm not finished, Chair. I have another minute. In that, Mr. Backhurst, there were 4 people at the meeting. Dee Forbes, Noel Kelly, his colleague Niamh, and Trish Whelan from the RTE Legal Department. On what basis are you claiming legal privilege? Because what capacity did Trish Whelan hold and what advice was she giving?
Trish Whelan was the solicitor present, so I'm claiming it on the grounds of solicitor confidentiality to client, and I think that's an important principle. And I think the people watching this committee will understand that's a very important principle, and I need to protect RTE's independence.
But if you go back to your moral obligation, Ryan Tubridy and Noel Kelly came before this committee and they waived their privilege. You are the very person who asserted Ryan Tubridy's moral obligation, but yet you're failing to assert your own.
I'm asserting
on the record. You are saying that you do not have a moral obligation.
I'm not saying that, Deputy.
To the public.
I'm saying my moral obligation is to the public to protect the independence and integrity of RTE, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay, thank you.
Move on, Chair.